All right, midterm and final. Results of our question that we sent around was almost unanimously everyone wanted no in-class final. So it looks like we're going to transfer the points or redistribute them from the current. Okay, so if you look here, 18% stays 18%. However, the 31% moves to a 39%. So in other words, there's nothing more that you have to do. It's just that this counts for 39% of the grade instead of 31. The final, which is called Test 2, will turn out to be 40%. Federal attendance module still stays at 3%. The in-class final will move from 17% to 0 because there won't be one. However, these will still add up to 100%. Where do you go take the final? atu.5thn.com. That's where you log into. So Let's go straight to the testing site. All right, so I've come to this site, and I'm logged in as the main user. Let me log out of a special account that I have. I'm going to log into, I'm coming to this site. I'm sitting right here. You can see the available courses. One of them is yours. I can hit it, or I can hit the login. In either way, I'm going to have this. Now, this is populating my username and password because I've logged in before. You can do save as and save that password if you want. Okay, and so now I'm in this course. Up at the top left, you see this little blue that brings over some hidden things. Now, at the very bottom left, you see I'm in 3 courses. This is a testing thing. So you can see I'm in all 3. I am going to show you where the midterm is, and here's the final. It's that simple. Each one of these is one problem. These are all due on April 14th because on the 15th is the last day to drop. So I figured if you can't get it done by then, I'm not going to count it, and you can just suffer the consequences. So how do you go about taking the test? You click that. In this particular problem, only in this CP001 are you allowed 10 attempts in 5 hours. All the rest, no matter which course you're in, all the rest have a 4-hour limit, and you're allowed to attempt this 5 times. So I'm going to go back to the midterm. I'm going to do this CP01 because it's common to all 3 classes. It says, okay, start the attempt. You have a time limit of 5 hours. I start it, and there's my problem. Little drawing of a funny triangle. It says the data for the problem is shown below. Enter the solutions here. Okay, so I could sit here and say, okay, so if I need to know the length of the side C, I'd use the law of cosines. But in either case, I know it's 180 degrees. So I hit the finish the attempt. Okay, now it's not truly finished. It'll clear on me after 5 hours, but I can submit it all, and that attempt is gone. So what you find out is there's your real answer, your real answer, your real answer. 40, 22, 28. Now, you see I did get this one correct, and in the answer there's a little bit of a link here to kind of guide you through a couple things. So I made a 25% on this, and that's that. Okay, 45 seconds it took me. That's when I started it. That's when I finished it. Let's take a look now from the administrative side. Now, when I do this, I'm going to blank out some things. So you're going to see things get blanked out here. So I'm in this course. I'm going to the grades, and you'll see my grade book here. Now, along this left, this is going to be blanked out down here, so you can't read anybody's. But I can show you where I'm at. Let's see. Here I am. Okay, here's the guy that I am. Oh, sorry. Here's my 2.05% right here. And you can see my final grade. You can see some people have already completed most of the final. There's one problem here, which that's on the midterm. The midterm. There it is. You can see the points are adding up on the course total over here, but they're just adding. You can see the overall average, and that's of the average of the people that took the test. So you can start to see the grade book here. I will go to the dashboard again, which for me, the administrator, I think I hit it. Maybe I did not hit it. Okay, so here's my dashboard. I'll go into the dynamics and I'll hit the dashboard thing here again. Look at the grades here. And you see that this is reminiscently empty. Again, down the left side, it is pretty much blurred out so you can't see the names. So looking at the last one, go to look at the grades here, and you see one person took the CP. That was me. I took it in the fluids, and you can see nobody has done anything there. So not the midterm or the final. So this is something to consider as you go on. So what do we do here? How do we approach this? Well, first of all, you have to work each one of these problems. Let me give you a typical example. You go in. You may have a problem like this. Okay, here are three forces put on here. Tells you the alpha, beta. The theta. It says, determine the magnitude of F1 and its direction theta, so the resulting force acts along the positive x prime direction, which is right here, and has a magnitude of 1008 newtons. Tells you the data, A, is this number, B is that number, the forces of F2, which is off the screen, which is right here, and F3, which is on the screen over here, are those two numbers. It says, now if you look at this real close, I can hold the control key down and zoom in, and what you'll find, and I'm making it really big for a reason, you'll see there are two boxes here that you have to fill out. Let's say you find out this is this, and this is like 2100. Okay, so of course you can guess all you want. That's great, but you probably want to work this out because you're only going to get 5 shots. You hit the finish attempt. I'm going to zoom back out in a minute. Control key down, scroll the mouse back out so it gets a little bigger. Now, it's still counting down, and I can walk away and come back and return to the attempt, back to the same exact problem with the same exact numbers, and I can say, oh, it was 2300. Go back and finish the attempt, but it's still not finished until either the time runs out or I submit all and finish. So if I submit all and finish, it says, hey, wait, once you've submitted, you can no longer be able to change your answers for this attempt. Submit all and finished, and it grades it. All right, so I made a nothing out of 10. So I'll roll back down. Now here's the deal: the grades are correct if it's within 5%. Okay, so I guessed pretty close. That's actually a pretty close guess. Not quite close, but here's the deal: you enter numerical values only. It's graded as though it's within 5% of the solution is correct, and you get the full grade. Otherwise, you don't. You hovered over it, you can look at this. Now, your first inclination is, hey, I'll just take these numbers, copy them, put them back in. But that sets for 55, 11, and 9, and 5. So, for example, if I just wanted to do this and say, hey, let's just see what, here. This way I can see it. I can do a new snippet and say, there were my numbers. Okay, that's the numbers from the first attempt. Here they are. So then I go back and I say, you know what? I look around. I think I know how to work this problem. I'm going to go back and work it again. It says, hey, your first attempt, I submitted it on this day at this time. I got nothing out of nothing. I can review the attempt, or I can reattempt it. So let's reattempt it. Picture looks the same. However, compare it to the snippet I had. 55.9, well, it's 55.2, but A is now 6, and B is 3.5, and this was 5.8. This is 324 now. This is 249. This was 90, or this was 124. Now it's 96. Stab in the dark. 11 degrees. 865. Finish the attempt. Okay, still counting down until I either let the time out or I say I give up. And guess what? I got 0 out of 10 again. This time, it moved up 19 now. And 11 or 1036, okay? So, each time you go edit, the problem is going to change. To give you a good judge of how the percents change, so I know this answer is 180. So 5% or 10% of 180 is 18. Half of that is 9. So, believe it or not, if I'm 5%, I don't know if it's within 5%. Turns out, yes, it still counted this as correct because I was 5% or within. Let's go back and retake the test. And this time, I'm going to reattempt it. Now, 5% of 180 is still 9, but 9.00001. And let's see what happens. I'm not sure it'll round off, but we'll see. Got it wrong. I was outside the bounds of the 5%. Works the other way as well. Here's what I mean. Go back to the problem. Okay. So I'll reattempt it. Okay, so 180 minus 9, 181. Let's see if that's okay. Guess what? It's okay. Still okay. Let's drop a little below that. See what happens. Now, 180. Now, oh, I'm sorry. I should have said 171. I put 181. Never mind. So take 180, take off 9, which is 5% of 180. And it still counts as correct. What happens if I do 170.999? Okay. $170.9999. So it's like slightly under that 5% off. And guess what I got? I got it wrong. So the other thing, if you go back and look at your problem, you can see all of the different attempts you made and all of the different reviews you can look at. But you can see that it's recording the highest grade of all your attempts. So you can attempt to answer stuff, and if you get a lower grade, like I got a lower grade here than I did there, but it took the highest attempt so far. So again, I use the CP01 because it exists in all of the courses. So if I go over and go in here, you'll see a CP01 with the same problem statement in dynamics as you do in statics, as well as fluids, which has the same problem statement. I basically went in and attempted this earlier to play with it. Same problem. However, if you go into fluids and look at the first problem there, you're going to see a different kind of problem. That is a fluids problem. Of course, it makes sense. If you go into the first problem for statics, you should see a statics problem. Of course, it's wanting you to work this. Again, beauty of this system, single problem statement, multiple answers. Those multiple answers, they are your partial credit. So you do not have to go away answering all of it to get points. But if you want all your points, you have to continue to work at it until you get them all. Of course, likewise, if you go back to your courses and you go to dynamics, of course, makes sense. You're going to see dynamics problems. So there's a typical dynamics problem. Again, multiple answers available for a single problem statement. So I have no idea what happens if you do that. You can go in and submit all and finish, see what it says. It's just going to say nope. If you put a bunch of digits, so be careful what you type in here. You got to be careful. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to harvest the grades out of this and move them back to the blackboard. What you'll be receiving shortly, sometime over this weekend or early next week, is an analysis that's specific to you that essentially has your grade, your homeworks, your everything. So it will be a replacement or an additional copy of what is in Blackboard that is going to be sent directly to you in your inbox. Once a week, it will appear coming from my tech email as a forward, but it will occasionally occur from another email address.